Hi, this is RX-Explain. This time we are going to explain the Hazel Custom RX-121-1 Gundam TR-1. The TR project initiated on UC0084. At the most basic level is the Titan Lead Federation Mobile Suit Development Project, hence T for Titan and R the standard prefix for all Federation mobile suits. Titans aim to fully realize the original intent of Gundam to be the standard mobile suit, especially after the reputation that Gundams had built in the 1-year war. They also want to further expand the original scope of Gundam, being fully modular so that it can truly be altering, all-purpose, and perform all kinds of battlefield tactics. On top of that, they will also want to develop a truly universal common standard to streamline all production and maintenance for this Gundam and next generation of mobile suits. While the TR project scope was ambitious to say the least, the development team took a very pragmatic approach for their first step, the TR-1, that would be based on the standard Titan mobile suit, the GM Quell. They developed many external optional parts to be tested with in order to get a sense what a universal common standard for altering all-purpose and all battle tactics should be. The original Gundam TR-1 Hazel was just a GM Quell with a Gundam head, mainly done to test out the psychological effect on Zeon Remnant, as well as possible morale benefit for the pilot and his teammates. The Gundam head's improved optical and multi-spectrum sensors has offered some minor improvement to the mobile suit's performance, but far from the performance difference between the original RX-78 Gundam and GM79GM. The Gundam TR-1 Hazel was assigned to the Titan Test Team, or T3 for short, to carry out field testing. While T3 was formed to serve the Titans as a whole, since all TR project mobile suits are expected to serve the Titans, T3 is practically a part of the TR project. While Hazel was severely damaged during one such field test in an encounter with Zeon remnants, the T3 decided to use the opportunity to overhaul it with all the testing results they had gathered so far. The end result is the Gundam Hazel Custom, despite still using the original RX-121-1 designation. Its performance is distinctively better than the original Hazel, much more worthy for the title of Gundam. The Gundam head, as we have mentioned, provides improved optics and multi-spectrum sensors. To fully utilize those extrasensory input, the cockpit is upgraded to have full dome monitor along with linear seat for G cancelling. The main generators are upgraded, and the chest structure is redesigned, not only allowing more armor around the cockpit, but also provide hardpoints to attach extra armor or equipment later down the line. On either side of the neck are a pair of auxiliary actuator units, improving the strength and loading that Hazel Custom's arm can handle. They also function as additional hardpoints. The arms are further modularized and streamlined from the GM Quell, later developed into the movable frame on Gundam Mark II. The movable frame will come back and aid other parts of the TR project and TR-1, but that's another video. The crotch is also redesigned to have extra armor protecting the structure of the base of the legs, as well as providing hardpoints for additional equipment. The legs are where things get very interesting. The auxiliary generator on the legs are coupled with nuclear thermojet engines. This will allow the Hazel Custom to hover slightly off the ground in places with atmosphere, while preserving fuel, extending its range of operation. It is also reversible, allowing Hazel to move backward just as fast, even in space where the jet engine will require fuel to operate. This configuration is lighter than the original set of multiple rocket engines on the GM Quell, despite its larger size. Hazel Custom's backpack was enlarged not only for the bigger rocket thrusters, but also housing an extra frame extension, skeleton bone weight-bearing structure of mobile suit, practically an extra limb. This extra limb is the movable booster pod, an arrangement similar to the legs, an auxiliary generator coupled with nuclear thermojet engines. Not only does this movable booster pod further improve the acceleration, speed, and range of operation of the Hazel Custom, It also provides extra power as well as serving as a docking point for heavy weapons and support crafts, but we'll talk about those with them in hand. The Hazel Custom standard equipment is pretty standard for a Federation mobile suit: a beam rifle, a beam saber, and a shield. The Vulcans on GM Quell was removed to make room for the improved sensors, and those were made into modules known as Vulcan pods, since TR project is pushing for modularity. The shield is a standard shield from GM Quell. The beam saber is a standard model with 2 E-caps inside, mostly for redundancy but can also be used with extra output. Thanks to the movable booster pod providing extra power, the beam saber can be recharged just as fast as regular single E-cap ones. The beam rifle is a new model developed for the Federation. Like the beam spray gun, it is a modular weapon, but the base form's performance is on par with the beam rifle used by RX-78s. The E-caps are now detachable, so they can be reloaded just like a conventional firearm. These E-caps can also be attached to each other like this for quick reload. The Hazel Custom went on to be tested and fought with many attachments and upgrades throughout the TR project. It was also selected as the prototype of the Federation's next-gen Ming-9 mass production mobile suit, until the Mark II showed more promise, or rather a more economical as well as politically correct solution that the Federation is looking for. However, the competition between Hazel Custom and Mark II doesn't end with the latter being stolen by AUG. In fact, that brings TR project and the Zeta project competing with each other not only on the battlefield but also development of mobile suit for years to come. And all of that would be quite a long series even after we looked at all the mobile suits and variants that are involved. So for now, this is RX-121-1 Gundam Hazel Custom in its basic configuration. Thanks for watching.